We are now going to talk about the generalizations of gifted students and the bias that comes along with identifying them. Here are 8 generalizations teachers see in a gifted student. Some to highlight would be that oftentimes they are perfectionists. They define success as getting an A and doing A-worthy work, and anything less than an A is failure. Gifted students also tend to walk to the beat of their own drum. They may be a bit different than their peers. Gifted students are also great problem solvers. Also, they may struggle with studying and test-taking skills because they think so abstractly and with such complexity. Oftentimes, gifted students are so far ahead of their peers academically that they may know much of the curriculum prior to the school year's start. Gifted students generally have unusual talent in one or more of these areas. Below are the 6 areas where we will find giftedness. No child, again, will be gifted in all 6, but some may be gifted in more than one. The first is creative thinking. This type of gifted student may be an independent thinker coming up with many solutions to a problem, creating and inventing things, and loving a challenge. This type of gifted student may have a mature sense of humor and not mind being different from the crowd. General intellectual ability means that a gifted student could be one who is excited about new ideas, uses a large vocabulary compared to his peers, learns quickly, and is considered a self-starter. The next area is specific academic ability. This gifted student may have strong memorization and comprehension skills. They may also have a special interest uncommon to children of their age and pursue that interest enthusiastically and vigorously. Gifted students may also show great leadership in the classroom. They tend to assume the leadership role in a group situation, having high expectations for the group and individually. They also have good judgment in decision-making and are well liked by their peers. The next area is psychomotor skills. This means that a gifted student may excel in athletic activities involving coordination, motor skills, manipulative skills, and precision in movement. These students also may exhibit high energy levels, not to be confused with an ADH student's energy. Gifted students use their energy purposefully. Lastly, gifted students may show an unusual ability in creatively expressing themselves, their feelings and moods through dance, drama, music, and other performing arts. They would also rather produce their own product than copy someone else's. We are now going to explore the bias teachers often show when identifying gifted students. Teachers tend to focus more on skills associated with academic performance and less on creativity, leadership, and motor skills when nominating students to gifted programs. Because of that, we often pay more attention to weaknesses than strengths. Because teachers are in more of a diagnosis and remediation role in the classroom, they tend to focus on student weaknesses, whereas gifted teachers focus more on student interests and strengths. Also, teachers may have a fear of misidentification. Teachers fear that with such a lifelong labeled prediction, their decision is heavily weighted on the student's future, and they also worry that a misidentification could harm the student who was mislabeled. Socioeconomic status also is a factor in our identification. In general, teachers may view low socioeconomic students as overall being less confident, and low socioeconomic males being less attentive. Also, if teachers know the family's home life background, they may see the child as an apple not falling far from the tree instead of looking for strengths displayed by the student. Culture is another factor in identifying a gifted student, but culturally diverse students are typically at a disadvantage due to ignorance of how differing cultures display talents and gifts. Culturally diverse students may exhibit their talents in a way that a teacher could view as a weakness. For example, Native American students culturally believe in bringing honor to the group rather than to the individual. Lastly, gender bias plays a role sometimes in teacher identification. Boys and girls generally exhibit different talents and interests, so teachers may develop stereotypes based on those expected differences. Male students in particular are perceived as masculine in role orientation, which means they are actually evaluated more highly than students who do not show that masculine role. And that is all for my presentation on the generalizations and biases of gifted students. Thanks for tuning in.